Die Hard, the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Okay. But it has been 10 years since we lost Alan Rickman. Good God. May he still be resting in peace. The GOAT.
I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon!
But if we shift the perspective away from the John Wayne rhyming scheme and instead focus on Hans Gruber, then it becomes a story of just trying to be the greatest thief of all time, only to get completely bamboozled by a guy who probably just wants to go do a musical and not an action flick. But to imagine that, let me just put you in his shoes. So imagine for a minute that you are Hans Gruber.
I read about them in Time magazine.
You were born in West Germany, which is one of the Germanys, certainly. Still though, you received a wonderful education. You loved to read. You even liked making models and figurines. You had rather a meticulous mind about you, and you did everything in your youth to build a good life for yourself. But unfortunately, it was for nothing. Money was always in short supply. And like many men in either Germany's from the 1980s, you turned to political movements because, well, you just wanted change. But the one you liked the most, which was the Volksfrei, which is honestly just a little bit of a run-of-the-mill movement in West Germany. They were at least steadfast in their beliefs and actually got things done, because deep down you're a pragmatic person. The only problem is that they were a little bit too ideologically motivated. They cared very little for things that actually made plans work, which was money. But by and large, by working with these people, you got pretty good at stealing, robbing, and a little bit of casual hostage taking. But then the group decided that you were not a good fit anymore and ousted you unceremoniously. Now, was this probably because you floated the idea of robbing a Japanese company exclusively for money? Maybe, but who knows? It's a little unclear. So, like a good little ideologue with a penchant for money making, you decide to take your 13 German apostles with you on Christmas Eve to rob said Japanese company. Why? Why Christmas Eve? Well, because you need hostages and honestly all manner of external factors to make sure that this complicated, and I mean like insanely complicated plan works. But you're in a heartbeat. These guys barely saw it coming. Well, honestly, who would? No one expects a hostile corporate takeover at a Christmas party, do they? First order of business, establish control and cut communications. This is because, well, you need your timeline to be as wide as possible. If the police come too early, well, you have to set up men in defensive positions, which is just, it just makes things a bit more challenging, really. So you just need the police to come when you decide that you want them to come.
Ladies and gentlemen.
They don't shut up, do they? So you try to be reasonable. Give them some ideologically motivated speech. You know, it's all blasé. I mean, sure, you think of yourself more of a Robin Hood. You know, you're stealing from the greedy and corrupt to give to you. But anyway, after a little bit of digging, you get the guy that you're looking for, and you take him to his little playroom, you know, where he builds all his cute little models like the child that he is.
You're going to develop that reason.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Oh, honey, sweet little princess. You can gaslight yourself all you want.
I read the article in Forbes.
Because if Forbes is just not corporate speech for shareholder or stakeholder interest, you don't know what is. But you up for a little mild interrogation. The dude thinks that you're doing this for blah 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 noble purposes. Like you're doing some righteous thing about corruption or whatever. Wouldn't that be nice? But no.
Money.
Yes, sweetheart, isn't that what all people want? Who cares about legacy or ideals when you have fat stacks of sweet baby Benjamins in your back pocket? Ideology only goes as far as you're able to spend. Ideals without money is just noise. At least that's what you think, probably.
You're just gonna have to kill me. Okay.
Anyway, turns out it's a dead end. He's completely useless. Oh well, it was a good try, but it's time to go back to the overarching plan. It's not as if you really needed him in the first place. He just made your life a little bit easier. And honestly, it all goes smoothly until some dickhead sets off a fire alarm. Apparently there's some other guy here who's, well, he's probably scared, just, you know, doesn't know what's going on, trying to get the police attention. It's fine. You just cancel the police order and send someone to go after them. You know, he's just a rando, scared out of his mind again. All you have to do is just put a bullet in him. Everything's done. But it's time for a little snacky snack and a little exposition dump.
Now I have a machine gun.
Oh, So it's not a rando. It's actually a guy doing stuff, and he took out one of your men. It's annoying, but come on, it's a lot of you and one of him. But the unfortunate thing is that he sent one of your men into into a fury, and I'm like, who cares? It's just a brother. There's a plan. Why are we giving up this plan for a brother? You thought Germans were cold and ruthless killers, but here they are, like little softies crying about siblings. So now you have to wrestle with the fact that you've got a guy trying to fuck with you and a little baby rager crying over spilt milk. Either way, a lot of variables have just been injected that you just don't want to deal with.
Where's the best place to transmit?
Somebody answer me, goddammit!
The roof.
And then you find out he's on the roof trying to radio people in. And so you sent a bunch of men up there, and what does it amount to? Fuck all. They get completely, and I mean thoroughly outplayed by this guy. They can't even contain the situation. Like you try and tell them, hey, just contain him. And what do? No, they just keep trying to fucking shoot the guy. And now there's police coming in. Like, you're trying to be in control, you're trying to maintain composure, and everyone is just making this so difficult for you. And he's killed more of your boys. Oh my god. So, not only are you now down several guys that you needed to defend the building when the FBI shows up, and now your timeline has shrunk dramatically. So you try to talk to the guy, you try to reason with him.
Sorry, Hans, wrong guess. To go for double jeopardy where the scores can
He's just cheeky, isn't he? He's just cheeky.
You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child.
And now he thinks he's doing a Die Hard or something.
Make sure nobody else here is doing a Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Don't cowboys say yee-haw or something? Well, this means that, you need to check what's going on with the vault, because you just went from essentially having all night to get this done to now maybe a few hours with half of your men. The situation is fucked.
I have a request.
And to top it all off, you are getting demands from the hostages. Good God, even when these Americans are in the biggest pickle of their life, they still think that they can make demands. It beggars belief. Imagine having no control and still thinking that you can leverage something. Crazy work, man.
We have a pregnant woman out there, so I would like permission to move her to one of the offices where there's a sofa.
Lovely. This is exactly what you want. More crap to deal with. Who goes to a fucking Christmas party pregnant? It's woefully irresponsible. So you just give them a couch. And now you're on the news. Well, on a positive note, the FBI will be here soon, but you need the vault to be done like now. But it turns out the police's plan is not to negotiate and just storm the building. You knew that the police officers were dumb, but whoa, that is incompetent. You're supposed to get all available information and then act, not just run in and get slaughtered. Maybe you're spoiled from dealing with the Stasi and the West German police. At least those fools were actually challenging. They even get their battering ram caught on some stairs. You cannot make this up. And the guy trying to fuck with you just blew up half the tower as well. Oh my god. This is all because your minions didn't know how to keep it in their pants and not try to kill somebody. What happened? And just when you're giving your guy a dressing down to end all dressing downs, some guy, whatever this is, in a suit comes in to try and give you the brown nose.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
What does he want?
It's not what I want, it's what I can give you.
Now, you are not puckered up for that. You are not ready for some American guy who's clearly off his chops trying to schmooze you. As if you're going to trust this complete sleazeball who is just trying to work you up like he has done with all of these corporate businessmen that seem to appreciate this kind of thing. No. But then he tells you that he knows who the guy is and he can get him to you. And I mean, like, at this point, well, it's almost zero risk to a lot of reward. The only risk at this point is time.
Touching, cowboy, touching. Or should I call you Mr. McClane?
But it turns out his name is John McClane. Yep, alright John Wayne. Bootleg John Wayne. He can't even come up with something original, can he? And by all metrics, it seems that they do know each other or something. Fair enough. But it also seems like this John Wayne fellow is just trying to save this poor guy's life.
Jesus Christ, Ellis, these people are gonna kill you. Tell them you don't know me.
Well, play with the big boys, you get big boy bullets in the brain. Anyway, with that potential win failed, you need to buy a little bit of time. You know, anything that could well, do anything at this point. So you opt to get the police to chase their own tail. You tell them to go find some rando terrorist groups and try to rescue blah 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 blah.
The 9 members of the Asian Dawn. I read about them in Time magazine.
They don't know what you're doing here. Everyone to this point has thought that you're doing this for ideological reasons, so why not give them ideological bullshit to go follow? And it buys you a couple of hours.
Looks like this last one's gonna take a miracle.
It's Christmas, Theo. It's the time of miracles.
And as the protagonist of the story, you literally cannot fail. This time tomorrow, you will be filthy rich in a third world country getting massaged with dollar bills. But now it is time to get the last phase of your plan into action, the fake death.
Hi there, how you doing?
Oh. Bloody hell, it's absolutely insane. Completely not what you were expecting at all. He doesn't even have shoes on. Here you were expecting an action hero, completely impervious and perfect, running around. But this guy just looks like he's been in a war, like he's actually struggled or something. You almost want to root for him. Damn, what an amazing story. It's almost as if you give characters struggles and flawed personalities, they become more interesting.
Oh, please! Don't get me, please!
Whoa, relax.
But in the heat of the moment, you get to your thespian training that you had as a kid. Luckily, you also learn how to put on an American accent. Starts off a bit rough, but you slowly work into it.
I'm not gonna hurt you! The fuck are you doing up here?
And oh wow, that was easy. He is completely stupid, no? But unfortunately, all of your attempts to socially engineer him to come and get a bullet in his brain doesn't exactly pan out. Until you tell him some random name you know. Then he hands you a gun. Okay. Good God. Wow. You knew people like to dig their own graves, but not hand the executioner the axe.
Oops. No bullets.
It's actually impressive that he figured that one out.
It's pretty tricky with that accent. You gotta be on fucking TV with that accent.
But he does compliment your acting abilities, which is quite charming of him. But it just is pretty cool of him to do that while facing certain death as well. He's a nice guy. You kind of have to feel like, yeah, he seems alright.
You think I'm fucking stupid, Hans?
You were saying?
How does someone manage to dodge every single bullet in the known universe? And at this point, you have to contend with the idea that you have employed, well, stormtroopers from Star Wars or something. Because, I mean, what the hell is this? This is just next level divine providence. But then, one thought comes to your mind, so genius, so illuminating. He has no shoes.
Shoot the glass.
And that sends him scurrying like the cockroach he is. Beautiful, just in time for the FBI. Like, at this point, you're starting to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more in control. He's in a pickle. And with the FBI here, well, you're on the home stretch. Then they even tell you the helicopters are on the way. It's exactly as you predicted. And all that's left is to get the hostages upstairs and you downstairs. Not before you realize that this woman, who has frankly been biting your ass for the last 2 hours, is actually John McClane's wife. So you do what any reasonable person does when finding out that their nemesis's wife is hanging out with you. Well, you kidnap her.
Sit down. Sit down. McClane, I have some news for you. McClane.
But he's just not picking up his walkie-talkie. How annoying! You finally have the ace in the hole and their direct line to hurt this man, and he's just not responding.
You're nothing but a common thief.
I am an exceptional thief, Mrs. McClane.
But this girl, she has the audacity to call you a fucking thief. A thief! First, technically, this is a robbery. Secondly, she was another person that thought you were motivated by a cause. Who the fuck are you, Jesus Christ? You tried to do the whole do good for the world thing, but it just wasn't for you. So why you're not motivated by a cause? You are motivated by a cause, the apparent lack of Benjamin faces stacked in your back pocket.
Blow the roof.
A car's up there! Blow the roof!
Okay, so now you are actually desperate. It's just been an emotional roller coaster of an evening, but you do have the bonds, you do have everything, but how is this possible? And then he appears in the final moments. But luckily you have his wife. And I mean, like, he's not like you. So you have firm belief that he's not going to sack his wife for the good of the mission. He's completely at a loss here. Even in the face of certain doom, he still smiles and has that stupid wit about him. But this is a Zugzwang. It's over. Still, you can't help but have like a little bit of self-indulgence, just a little bit of cheeky exposition, just because you want to see this man's reaction. You see him as like a vague equal. He kind of deserves an explanation before you kill him and his wife.
Put down the gun.
You got me.
And I mean, he seems like he's bang up for some banter. So, let's go for a little banter.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And this just makes him laugh? Holy crap, what the fuck are you dealing with? I mean, you knew he was crazy, but this is... Ooh. Like, his wife is gonna die. He is gonna die. And he's just, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. People deal with grief and trauma and, like, anxiety and fear and everything, all in different ways. So, sure, why not? But it is almost sad how fucked up that is. Oh, so the laughing was just an elaborate plan to lower your guard. So, wow, very impressive. Maybe he should be a thespian. And, well, okay, so at this point, you're fucking lost, right? You're facing the facts. But if you can't win, the least you could do was just be even with this guy. And if you're gonna die, he can die too. Oh. Maybe you should have already been an actor. Anyway, if you like the video, please give a like and consider subscribing. I know this is in November for a Christmas movie, but it's 1 month till Christmas. I thought I could allow it, but just because of how things work with the Beckett video, which is going to be out next week, it's just how things ended up working out, so yeah. Anyway, I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Good Old Granite and Alexander Colburn. Thank you guys, your support means everything. And of course, Lavender, Zyla, Toast the Bread, Prost, Voice Actor 1, Dubs, Takaru, and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.